Hello, Richard here, and I've just had a really good time down at the Beerwah pool. I've done my morning swim and I've come home and had a really wonderful breakfast. But one of the things that I was talking about with my mum going up and down the pool is the changing phase, and it's happening very quickly, of the collecting thrift shops and op shops, where I do my collecting. More than anything, this is a collecting channel. And right from the get-go, when I've done videos, I've shown you posters that I've collected, and I've shown you sticker books that I've collected, and plush toys and puppets and action figures, and my all my paintings on my wall. I've got Disney ones, I've got Star Wars ones, I've got photos of tigers, lions, big cats, eagles, and I've got statues out the front. They're all from op shops, right? But op shops are changing, and they've changed, and it's definitely in the last few months. Let's say there's a Humphrey B. Bear. That's a plush toy character here in Australia that's sought after by many. And Humphrey B. Bear was a famous child's show here for many, many years. So for many generations, there's old people love him, young people love him here in Australia. Everybody wants a Humphrey. He now isn't on TV anymore, but people love him. And when they did the Humphrey merchandise, they didn't just do plastic plates and all that. In fact, I've never come across that. They did ceramic bowls and coffee cups and all this stuff, and sort of really classy stuff, and intricate kind of things. Like there's a Humphrey nightlight that's around. I keep coming across them, and they're very intricate. They're not just sort of a basic nightlight. They're very nice, And so, when you used to go to the op shop, a Humphrey would be 50 cents or $1. A nightlight, anything up to $5 maybe. A plate, $1 or $2 maybe at most. $1 or $2 actually. I was going to say maybe at most 10, but I got one at most 10 from a collector Armour fair, and that's another story, because I'll stick to the op shops for now. But what's happened now when you go to op shops, any Humphrey stuff, a nightlight $180, Humphrey's $50, Humphrey plates and cups $50, and whatever. And I asked the op shop people, why is that? And they said, well, I've asked many op shop people, and because I wanted to investigate it a little, and what they all maintain is that everybody that comes to the op shop buys things, flips it for profit. So they'll buy a Humphrey nightlight for $1, then they'll put it for $180 on Facebook Marketplace or some other sales website, secondhand one, and sell the stuff immediately and immediately flip it for profit. So they want those profits. They're not here to just help people turn a profit with things that they buy cheap. To me, look, I don't know, and I'm hoping people write comments underneath. My understanding of op shops, which doesn't mean that my understanding is correct, was that people give things for free to the charity groups, churches and whatnot, and those guys get free rent for things. Everybody's a volunteer. They get tax breaks and all this stuff, and then they flip things for profit, but it's small profits. Like they get a free Humphrey, they put $1 on it, they sell it, and then they put that dollar towards helping the poor. But the idea of the cheap shop was so that poor people have got somewhere to come and shop. Or anybody who wants a bargain can come and shop. The idea that everybody's just coming and buying stuff and flipping it for profit on Facebook Marketplace just simply isn't true, because I don't do that. When I go to places, I buy to collect things and whatever. And if I'm going to have to pay $50 for a Humphrey or something like that, I'm not interested in doing that, because a collection like a plush toy collection, it's buying bubble gum and records and soft drink and whatever. It's not an investment. It's not anything. It's something where you don't need a plushie collection. It's a want, not a need, right? So if there's a place where I can go and buy a Humphrey for $1, I'm that I don't feel like I'm being ridiculous with my money, because realistically, that dollar Humphrey, I'm wasting my money. You could be, from a financial viewpoint, like from enjoying life and having fun and having collections. $1 is it's it's not much, but realistically, spending money as a grown man on Humphreys, like, I'm not a baby, I'm not 10. It's not it's not an investment, it's a loss. But spending $1, but thinking that I'm going to walk into somewhere and pay $50 for a 30-40-year-old Humphrey stuffed toy, I'm not going to do it. It's shut down my collecting. I'm out. I'm out, because it's ridiculous money. So, but what they'll tell you is, well, you should buy it from 50 for us, because you're going to flip it for profit anyway, and which is like, let's lock everybody up for stealing, just because it might mean we lock up an actual robber kind of mentality. But it's I keep the stuff, and I don't flip it for profit. So it is actually too expensive a hobby for me to pursue now. So I don't really know, but it's interesting from a moral viewpoint and all that too. Like, what is the purpose of shops? Are they there to get as much profit as humanly possible and give it to worthy causes? Or are they there to help people that come in by giving them a cheap price, and also help people with the money, worthy causes? Because if poor people can't come in and buy stuff from the op shop, on one level, who is the op shop there to help? So that you get pensioners and what go in there and buy clothes or whatever, or students or whatever. And if you're not there to support them, who are these poor people you're supporting with all the profits that you're taking away? There's just some thoughts. I'm not necessarily right. See, I like I say, I don't have any formed opinions on this, because I don't understand the business and I don't understand the purpose of the business. I'm just sort of making some assumptions in a sense. So it'd be good to get some comments underneath, or some feedback on this and everything. Are you willing to go to an op shop and pay? Because like, I always thought an op shop wasn't an antique shop. If you're going to go there and pay antique shop prices, that's a different business, is what I thought. So, but going back to that other thing that I said before, Humphrey things being expensive at collector armour fairs and whatever, that's another interesting one in itself, because I paid $10 for a Humphrey plate, which is like, normally I'd pay $1, but I saw it was wonderful. It wasn't $20, it wasn't $30. I thought $10, I'll get it. I've got the video of it. If you go back watching my collecting ones on here, you'll see that at the collector armour fair. But why they have to sell everything expensive at collector armour fairs is because a table at the Nambour collector armour fair, as I understand, it's either $100 or $150. So let's say I want to go and sell some of my old collection stuff that I've got doubles of or whatever, or I'm not keen on that particular one anymore. I've got to put an expensive price on it at the collector armour fair if I buy a table, because otherwise I'm going to lose money on the day, because I've paid so much for the table. So if you're a collector and you go to a collector armour fair, you have to realise that it's not going to be like an op shop or whatever. It's an expensive place to buy your collectibles, because they're charging so much for the tables and whatever. So that's a sort of a different situation. And really, collector armour fairs, they're I mean, I'm not interested in paying collector armour fair prices for Humphreys and Humphrey plates and things, honestly. But so collector armour fairs are out for me because of the overheads that the people that come to sell stuff have. And then also, like, really the op shops thing that's kind of over too, because if I'm going to go there, like some other toys that I definitely love are some more Flintstone ones, Jetson ones, Quick Draw McGraw, all those sort of Hanna-Barbera characters, more Disney dudes and all that. But if they're going to be hitting me for $50 every plush toy, and every coffee cup with their image on it and all this sort of stuff, I'm out. The collecting hobby is over for me. And it wouldn't matter if I had $1 billion, the collecting hobby would be over for me, because it just isn't. It's. I don't see it as wise. I see it as silly to spend 50 on a plush toy or a coffee cup with Star Wars on it or something like that. I would always have a budget and a limit on what I spend on a collection, because, like I say, it's not good business sense to go out buying 30-year-old Humphreys and that. It's just, it's like, it's not an investment. It's a waste of time and money for me. Now, the other thing that you can talk about too is these guys. There are people, and I don't know how many there are, but there are people that own second-hand shops and whatever, and they're organised, and they go down to, say, they go to all the op shops in their car one day a week, and they buy as much label clothing and belts and records of popular bands and all that kind of stuff as they can. Then they go and have their boutique hippie, what do they call it? Collectibles shops and all that sort of stuff. And then they go and put 50 on a Humphrey after getting it for $1 and all that kind of thing if they do it. I don't know where I actually stand on that one. I really don't, because anybody used to be able to go to an op shop and spend $1. And so I don't know whether those people, when they do that, whether they're going against the idea of an op shop as well. Like, are they or not? Like, an op shop's for everybody to go and buy something for $1. Sorry, it was. It's not anymore. And then if those people go and put in their collectible shop, like I say, I don't know if it's in the spirit of it or not and everything. Like I say, I'm raising all these things because I've been out collecting, and the landscape has changed. And I've also seen situations like that where the op shop people, they are right that there are genuinely business people out there running secondhand toy businesses and collector armor shops and all this kind of stuff. And they were going getting everything for $1 and getting them for 50 cents at garage sales as well and all this, and then going straight over to their shop, putting on the shelf and putting their price tag on it and putting 50 or $100 on it. So, and there are people just flipping them on Marketplace and trading things and all this sort of stuff. So, I don't know what the relevance of any of this is. From a personal standpoint, the relevance is, now that they've jacked the prices up on all the collectibles and the stuff that they know as the cool cartoon characters and all that, like plush toys and plates and coffee cups, and and they know that people want particular statues, like maybe lions and eagles. Like I said, my statue collection, I'm paying $2, $5 a statue. At the Collector Armour Fair, I did a video about it. The same statues were $300, $350, stuff like that. And now you're not going to get them for $5 now. They've at least got 25 or 50 on them and everything at the collectible shops and everything like that. So I bought things because it was a cheap little thing where I got a lot of fun out of it and all that. So, like I said, how the changing terrain of the op shops has affected me is it's put a stop to my collecting. It's over, pretty much. Whether I think it's right or wrong or anything, I actually don't know. Obviously, I'm disappointed that I can't do my collecting anymore. So, if I wanted to think like a 5-year-old baby, I could pout, go, wah, wah, wah. No, I don't like what they're doing and all that stuff. But like the reality, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe with the op shops, the best thing they could do is get as much as they can for a product, and then use the money for what they want to. I really don't know, and it'd be interesting to get people's opinions. Another thing that to do with collecting that would be very interesting to get people's opinions on as well is, for a very long time, all the op shops and things, they have volunteers, but they also have people who what do they call it? Like you're on parole or whatever, and you're put there to do community service, right? And with some of those people, while they're sorting, they might see something that they want for their collection, or see something that they know is valuable. Let's say it's a girl, she's on parole for shoplifting. She's there doing her stuff, and she sees a Gucci dress, and then like I guess now that they're going to put all these expensive prices on things, it's changed that. But before, what they might do is put it aside and buy it for 50 cents or $1 themselves. They might get it for 50 cents because they work there, or they might get it for $1. In other words, they had first in, first served kind of thing. When they weren't customers, they are sorters. But they're volunteering their time, or they've been court ordered to be there and everything. I've never actually really had a problem with that. Like, if someone volunteers their time and they're into collecting Humphrey stuff, and they're sorting and they see a Humphrey thing and they pay $1 for it, like I would, or like in the old days. Like when I say the old days, 6 months before 6 months ago, when everything changed and they started putting the big prices on things. I can't see, anyway, it'd be interesting to get people's feedback on that. What do you think of the people? Like, because some of them, they'd sort something, they go, oh my God, that's real crystal or whatever. I'll buy this glass for $1, and then they know they can take it home, have a beautiful crystal glass. Or even if they did sell it to a friend that they know collects crystal, they might get $100 for it or something, I don't know. So it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that as well. The sorting people and that, should they be allowed to have first pick and things like that? But like I said, I think even with that now, it sounds like the charities are onto that too. And if you were sorting and you found a Humphrey, like going back to the Humphrey example, you'd say, I want to buy that Humphrey, and they go, cool, $50. So, let's nip that in the bud, whether it's right or wrong behaviour. It's been nipped in the bud anyway. So, but anyway, yeah, so these are things, I don't know what you call these, moral riddles or something like that I'd love to get people's feedback on and opinions of, and everything that I've come across as I've become a collector and seen the changing terrain or geography of the collecting game sort of thing, Because like I said, I want to go spend $1, get a Humphrey plate, get a Humphrey, I don't know, get a Fred Flintstone coffee cup or whatever. But I don't want to go in there and pay $50 for one. I'm not going to do it. So, if the prices are going to stay like this for collectible items and stuff, it's put me out of the collecting hobby business. Not that I've run a business, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So, and I've never volunteered and had to sort of work out whether it feels the wrong or right thing to do when I go, oh my God, there's a Humphrey or a Fred Flintstone. I'm going to put that aside and buy that before I go home, I mean, to me, that seems pretty harmless to me, honestly. Like, it gets given to the op shop to sell on to raise money for charity, and you bought it and gave them money for charity. But put it this way, though, you're not going to get $1 crystal glass or anything anymore, not now that they've got these evaluators in the place, and then they're, like I said, even if you were the sorting person, you still have to pay the evaluator price for it, which is like, that crystal glass 50, that Humphrey's 50, that Humphrey coffee cup, that's 60, that Humphrey nightlight, that's 180. Oh gosh, the world we live in, hey? All these different, what do you call these? Conundrums. They're probably all solvable. I just haven't put enough thought into it yet. They're not necessarily conundrums. I think conundrum means it's an unsolvable riddle sort of thing that's never going to make sense, because it's been set up to not make sense. I think this makes sense somewhere, but I just don't. Like I said, it all depends on what the value system is, or what is the morality, and what is the specific purpose in the first place. Like, these like, one last thought I had with the salvos shops and op shops and thrift shops and vinnies and all that. Do they get all their government assistance because they're supposed to be selling stuff cheap to the poor people? And are they breaking their charter, or is it called charter? The rules, to get their charity status by charging everybody like they're an antique shop or a collector shop? Have they been given tax-free status and all this government funding assistance and stuff because they're supposed to be providing that service, and now they've change the name of the game, and does that mean the government should withdraw their stuff and go, well, you're not selling stuff for $1 to everybody anymore? I'm not being a snitch or something here. It's just a question I just thought of. It's like, are these guys doing paperwork, and on the paperwork does it say we do this because we provide, not only do we provide cheap things for the impoverished people, we collect money and give it to other impoverished people. Is that what they've got on their paperwork to get all the assistance that they get and everything? And if so, then maybe that's the answer. It's like, okay, well, you shouldn't be charging these prices. But like I say, I don't have an opinion. I don't really have an answer. I'm interested in getting other people's thoughts and that about it, and then sort of getting an idea in my head from when I get answers and stuff. Research people's answers and come up with what I think about it. Then all right. Well, over and out. Collecting video. Thanks for listening. Bye.